Hi there, this is Stephen Leipzig with the Pressure King, a pressure washing company based out of Middle Tennessee. I encountered an issue with my work trucks. We drive Ford E250s, and the back windows are blocked out, so we're not able to see out them. I was going to go with the traditional mirror mount on the back, but I realized it was very expensive. First off, they were asking for $89, I think, for the product. And then it's a mechanical piece. I just wasn't too happy with it. It seemed clunky and old-fashioned. I'm a new-fashioned kind of guy. So I decided to go with I'm going to try my best to pronounce it, the Chuanganzhuo backup camera. It was $29.99 from Amazon. I think it had Prime as well. It's a good set, really good set. And I want to give a quick little demonstration about how the wiring itself works. It came with a guide for it, which was a rough sketch to say the least. But there's a few things you should do to make your life a little bit easier. I want to demonstrate that here. From initial opening, you'll get this box here, the car rear view camera. It's not much to it, just from the company. So the company itself must manufacture this camera, or at least the distributor of the camera. And then on the back here, it specifies which LCD you went with. I have that one there. I'm not sure if you're able to change that, but that's the one I have. It seems to be a good display. I was playing around with it earlier, and I found two aspect ratios on it, 16:10 and a 4:9, I think. I'll demonstrate that a little bit later. So that's one of the items that's going to come in the box. You'll have the backup camera itself, which is a really nice camera. It mounts right onto the license plate there. So you'll just unbolt those two bolts on your license plate and put it right in. It's got a good swivel to it, so you're actually able to see up or down depending on the height of your vehicle. Really great. And then another great feature that I'll demonstrate a little bit later is the infrareds themselves. And this thing sees in night very, very well. Doesn't have an issue with it at all. You'll kind of see a purple hue go over the screen whenever it displays the infrareds. You can kind of see them going off there now. But overall, it's a really good camera. I'm happy with it. There's the brand name again. And then you'll just get various cables. So here is the cable set that goes with the backup camera. You've got the yellow, which is the video cable itself. This cable will run to this very big bundle here. And I think this is a 10 or a 20 foot bundle of video cable, and that'll run all the way up to the yellow video cable on the display there. The display will have a white cable here. That's for setting up a DVD. I guess it's for recording and such. That's not needed. It is there, so keep that in mind. You'll just have to tuck it away when you're doing the final wiring. Then each one has this red port here, this red cable. That is your power. So you'll get the red, and there's another good section of wire here, maybe 5 feet, and that's where you'll be running your power from. Now, what I highly, highly suggest before you do anything is go get yourself a 12-volt battery. I pulled mine off of a pump we use, and test it, plug in everything, make sure everything works first, and understand how the wiring needs to go. Because it's a little complicated at first, but overall, it's not too difficult of a process. So, simply put, here are the positive leads. One is running from the backup camera, and the other one is running from the LCD monitor. Those are bolted in together. I just tied them around each other and then put them all on there together. And then you've got your negative leads, your ground leads. I just bolted them right there. Easy peasy. Really works out well. On the video output, right here, you'll see this extra red wire coming off. That is also an extra wire. That is not needed. It's specified in the manual, but it's a little confusing at first. So your yellow video cable will have this extra red wire. I'm just going to wrap it around, probably wrap it in electrical tape. Won't even worry about it. So that's kind of the system you've got going. With the backup camera here, you're going to want to take it and mount it to your rear view lights probably. And so when you throw your car in reverse, it also is going to display the rear view lights, which will pick up the feed or the power from that and display the camera. So right here I'll demonstrate. I'll go to the screen here. And So here is the screen with the camera plugged in, but all I'm going to do is just disconnect the power from the, if I can get it, 1 second. All I'm going to do is just disconnect the power from the camera, boom, and it goes out. So there's still power going to the LCD, but the camera itself is disconnected, so there's nothing running to the LCD. So you can just feed this right into your aux port, I'm sorry, not aux port, up into the cigarette lighter or something, or maybe an ignition switch or ignition wire underneath the dash, and that'll keep your LCD always running, which is fine, but your camera itself will be mounted to the 12 volt or to the backup lights, so then that will only turn on whenever the backup lights themselves are on. I thought about maybe wiring this to something where it's always getting continuous power. That way, you know, when I'm driving down the road in my big work truck, I can just simply turn on the switch for the LCD, and that will display the backup camera in case I need to switch lanes or something. So there are a few things you can do with that, which is nice. It's very versatile, and it seems to be a good design. I'm happy with the product. I'll make a follow-up video for me actually installing it and see how painful that goes. If you guys were saying that you should upgrade the wire, yeah, it seems like a cheap wire. The gauge isn't too great, but it might be long enough. Again, I'm using it in a cab, so wiring won't be too difficult. I don't really have to hide anything. I can just mount it along the roof. So it does come with this owner's manual here. Not too much to it. They posted a lot of the reviews on there, but this is the guide you want to be looking at. And that's what I just broke down for you guys. So keep in mind that there's an extra cable coming off the yellow one. That A and that B, that red wire, that is not needed. And then here's the power running from the rear view camera itself. You want to mount that to 12 volts, direct current from the car, and then the same for the LCD monitor. And then there's that extra optimal video signal connector. So there's the guide itself. I hope that clarifies some things for you guys. And I'll post a video later following up how the install went. Overall, I'm happy with the product. The company seemed very legitimate, and they seem to be selling a good product here. So I'm going to do a quick clip of how well the infrared works, but that should pretty much do it for this, guys. I hope you enjoy the camera. So here's the infrared itself. You can see it picks me up very well, and this room is pitch dark. So here's it looking around the ceiling, just taking a peek around the room, and it's picking up very well. The camera itself seems to already be inverted, so you don't have to worry about moving the wiring itself around or anything. It should pick it up just like it's supposed to. Now, I'll show you a few of the features on the video itself, or on the LCD I should say. So there's 3 buttons on the back of the LCD, and see, that one's going to adjust the brightness. That's one thing you can scroll through. You got the contrast you can adjust, the color, the tint. Then the mode, here's the 16:9 I was talking about, and then you can go to the 4:3. So that just brings it down a little bit. And then, of course, with this, it's really nice. You got an English language, and I'm sure there's some other options. So with this LCD itself, it's really nice that it's got those cameras, or the built-in, I guess, I don't know, the measuring type thing, so you can really gauge how far away you are from something. So that is a nice feature they added with that. Overall, it just seems like a really good camera. I'm happy with it. You know, you really can't beat the price, 30 bucks. The company seems to be good, and they really do care about their product, and so I think it will be good. Hopefully the install goes well, but overall, just a few guides and tips. Go ahead, plug it up to a 12 volt, make sure everything works, figure out how the assembly needs to go, and then really plan it out and lay it out in your head before you just start willy-nilly installing things. Best of luck, guys. One thing I want to add was that the product is labeled as waterproof, but just to be careful, you know, you're spending a lot of time mounting it on your car there, so why not go ahead? I went and picked myself up some Rust-Oleum leak seal. This is the clear coat, so you won't even tell. I'm simply going to mask off the lenses, so the LEDs and the camera itself won't get any spray. But everything around it, I'm going to give it a few good hits with this, and that should lock in anything and not let any water get in there. So think about doing that before you start the process. This was cheap. I picked it up for 12 bucks, so